Hey everybody, welcome to our stream of the Star Wars trilogy. Things are moving at a much higher speed than they
You're
should.
You're dead 10 times over.
Yeah, we're gonna move that way down.
I had to emulate this due to my mouse issue myself. So, in fact, all three of these I had to emulate, unfortunately.
All right, let's try this here. I like this. I like the stage selection. You know, you're shooting it with
just like in the real deal. That's still fast, man.
Really? I've been playing it this fast all week.
Oh yeah.
I don't think so. This is normal speed. This is the arcade speed.
No way. It's too fast.
I mean, then I'm the best Star Wars player in the universe.
It's faster than I've ever played it.
I think your Amiga's just slow.
I played emulated.
Your emulations.
You know, one thing I like to do on this, and in the arcade too, is when you've killed all the TIE fighters you need, you're headed and it's just great just to light up Darth Vader on the way in. You know, the size of that thing. You see how the man? No wonder. I bet you didn't do too good at this game, did you?
I beat
this is like running a trench and like as fast as humanly possible.
Is this really fast?
Oh God, can't you tell?
No.
Did you not hear the audio sample be so? It took so long. You're already halfway down the trench, and then you get to finish. Oh no! No, normally, also you shouldn't suck that bad at the first level. Even you know that.
Let's see.
This is one of the first games I ever played on the Amiga. I had this for the. In fact, I still have the floppy for the 1000, and I was like, man, I was instantly won over because I love this game so much in the arcade. So when I saw that there was a version out for the Amiga, man, I was like, we got to give this a whirl.
Yeah, there's no way I can slow this down more that I know of. I've already cycled down the CPU as fast as I can.
That's strange.
I think it's because my PC rig is so beastly.
I played this through the Pi, and didn't have too much trouble. Yeah, this is. I will say this definitely increases the challenge. I love that. Look how brilliant that is. The program that went in. Listen. It cuts that. You probably never heard that little. No. He goes, look at the size of that thing.
Oh, okay. So that's
that's because it.
Oh, my shield's gone.
Hey, at least you got it that time.
Yeah, if you set it to 100, watch what happens. Here's CPU at 100%. Yeah. It has something to do with my inability, well, because the setup that I have is running on a 68030, maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, put it on the 6800 and try it.
It'll crash because the whole system is contingent on having it.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
you're not using the floppies. You've been on the drive. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I'm looking at the setting right now, Paul, and it is if I set it at 100%, it's crazy fast. If I set it at negative 90%, then it's the fastest that you see it. So, and unfortunately, our WHD load setup is
you don't have floppies on here.
Well, why would I have the floppies on there? There's no reason for that.
Yeah, it's right here.
I do. If I have to use floppies, I don't play the game. That's how it works.
No. What an attitude you've got about this. I think the translation though is excellent, with a few issues. If you've sat and listened to if you just sat and not played and just let it go through its little the little demo screens or whatever. Have you ever done that? Mm-hmm. Have you heard that rendition of the Star Wars theme?
It's bad.
Well, it's like one solitary oboe. That's what it reminds me of. Just like a guy in a huge orchestra pit. There's just one guy going. It's like that's the best you could do on the Amiga.
It's funny because the Amiga could have just sampled the entire, the original recording.
Yeah, no kidding. And
shoot. And I can't cycle it down before these things load, or it takes forever for this stuff to load.
Also, you'll recall in the arcade when you blow up also in the arcade when you start the game, it goes do 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 do, and there's this awesome music, and you're like, oh man, I'm in it. Mm-hmm. In this, nothing. And then also the music at the end when you blow up the Death Star, where it goes it plays that little thing, you get nothing there either. No music, none.
Okay, well we'll see how this simulates. See if you can tell if this is fast or slow.
All right. Now that's a better rendition.
Yeah. And see, the music doesn't seem... So maybe it's just Star Wars that's screwed up. Maybe this one runs at normal
speed. Oh, yes.
speed.
Star Wars, I've had that happen tons of times on the emulator.
Okay. And so I like how there's instructions. I think this is cool. Well. Is this still super fast?
Oh, yeah. Because this is actually a kind of a ponderous level. Not now.
Well, this makes it more fun.
Well, that's... Except you can't possibly have any chance of doing well.
Oh, no, I do well all the time on this. It's perfectly normal to have only 2 shields left after this first little
Let me ask you a question. Have you played this in the arcade?
No, I've never played it.
I've not ever played it in the arcade myself. However, I watched, in researching this episode, I watched a video of the arcade version. And I will say, they do a very good job of like, recreating it. All right.
Fly through the legs. You ever do that for the bonus?
I do. But much like that article I sent you, the Empire Strikes Back, of all the movies, it was the one that did not lend itself to being made into a game very well.
I read that article, and I don't know if I agree with that.
All right, explain.
Well, they could have done something on Dagobah with Yoda, the training stuff.
But how would you do that with vectors?
Well, they shouldn't have made it a vector game if they wanted to do that.
Did you see the third game where they didn't do vectors?
It was terrible.
Okay.
So
I think, and also they were looking for a conversion for the. So I mean, that's what they did. But I mean, if you think about it, the end of Empire is a massive bummer.
This is where I immediately died.
Yeah, obviously there's no man on Earth that can navigate that. I don't care how much force you're using. It's like a storm giants throwing boulders at you in the old D&D.
All right, let's do this again. I'm trying to think of other... I do think the first level is perfect for vector... Or, I mean, not this, of course, but the snow... Or the AT-ATs and the snow level and stuff.
Also, if you think about this part of the movie... And I'm going to go into the assumption you've seen all the movies. Yes. This was a very minor part of the film where a spaceship wasn't used.
Yeah.
Right, as I recall, Han and Chewie just blew the crap out of one of these things.
Right.
Or maybe 2. I can't remember for sure, but I remember 1. Right? And so... This takes certain liberties, which I can get past. All right, I can get past that. But ultimately, in this particular adaptation of that, you lose. You lose that because these things always send up those little satellite transmissions.
Right,
you're boned. Plus, this level is a little sparse. I mean.
Well, all the levels are a little sparse.
Let me ask you a question. What separates this from the TIE Fighter level? I mean, really, not much.
Just different shaped vectors.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, this level, these AT-ATs aren't that tough to kill without using your toe. Mm-hmm. You can just sort of blow the hell out of their little viewing area. I don't recall them being that simple to take down in the film.
Right.
But still, it is gratifying to blow one of these things away with a toe beam. It is fun. And you get more if you keep going. So that's pretty cool. But again, vector doesn't lend itself well to interpreting snow, for example.
Right.
What would have been nice here is maybe some sort of crest in the background of a mountain or something,
like a
craggy peak
type thing.
That's right, like that. That would.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you.
Now this level, of course, is basically exactly the same as the first level. In the first game, with the exception of instead of the Death Star in the background, you've got that Imperial Star Destroyer, right? So, but otherwise, this is identical. So, and of course, while you're flying the Millennium Falcon, which is rendered in a kind of a.
It's weird.
It's almost like if the red light district, Millennium Falcon. That's what it reminds me of. It's like, get girls here. Yeah. I mean, when you played that, you didn't think that was too fast.
I thought that was a little weird.
it's like Nolan Ryan just hurling ball after ball. You're like, ah!
All right, so let's go to the last game.
We should talk real fast, and then when we put this up, we could just slow it down.
Right.
Everything looks good, boat.
Let's see.
Now
Put the
this,
feed back up so that'll...
of course, this particular game is the redheaded stepchild of the trilogy.
Right.
Now, before we play this, I'll ask you, what did you think of this film?
Well, I don't hate it as much as many Star Wars fans do. You know, it's okay. I mean, looking at it again now, it's clear that Empire has better writing. It's got a better plot. But it's always hard to wrap up something. It's always hard to write the third part of a trilogy.
There are parts of this that I really like. The third one, not the game.
You know what? My favorite part of this? Moving the Death Star.
If you watch the playthrough of this, there's a dude that bebops the Death Star to the song.
That's what I'm doing right now. Maybe it was me. Okay, I'm done.
This is like the house mix. Here comes the A-Wing.
See, this part looks cool.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the first time I saw this in the arcade, and I was completely baffled as to what I was like.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
So this is kind of like an isometric bump and jump.
Now this is working fine. This one's okay.
Yeah.
I stink at this game. Did I mention that?
Well,
in the arcade, I've never gotten off this screen.
I don't know if anybody's good at this game, except for the people that do the playthroughs on YouTube.
Just stay hang back. That's all you gotta do. Yub yub. Nice. Oh, you got greedy.
Oh, yeah, I got greedy.
You got greedy. By the way, does it just mean does your driver look like Mega Man?
He does. I like.
And when he fell off, he looked like Mega Man even more.
I like the your lives are represented by little lightsaber men there in the corner.
This reminds me of Spy Hunter.
Yeah, Spy Hunter.
If you played it like,
jump
well, yeah, but there's no jumping here.
there's shooting.
So it's just bump. That's what you're saying. It's
yeah.
bump, no jump. I remember when I saw the scene in the movie, and they were whipping through the trees and those motorcycles. I remember thinking to myself, why in God's name would you ever do that?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the most technically impressive scenes in the whole trilogy.
Oh yeah, it was cool
yeah.
looking, but I mean, it's like, why would you?
Remember this music in Star Wars? It's like the Happy Days theme.
I think it was there because they assumed
Was
there'd
that
be
the
some.
Ewok theme?
They thought there'd probably be some loading going on. I'm assuming. Now you picked beginner, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boat! You missed the reactor,
I did
dude.
miss the reactor.
Thanks to you. There goes indoor.
Oh, you got to start all the way back here?
Oh yeah.
I thought you got to start at the...
This isn't like the first one. You know,
Aw.
I love the sound. It looks like this. That could have came out of like Maddox or something from the '70s. Also like how the stormtroopers are just palette swaps of Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
Trying to get out so I could get in.
You gotta be patient. Don't go too far up the side.
Yeah.
This game I don't play with the mouse. By the way.
Really?
No.
Did you ever play any of those PC Star Wars games where you use the mouse a lot?
Like the desktop things.
Yeah, yeah.
Those I didn't like.
They had a lot of FMVM.
Wasn't there a Yoda one? Uh-oh. Aw.
I don't do that.
Oh, you too cool for school on
Yeah.
that? That never gets old. Give me frick since Fred Sanger come out. Hey, dummy. Oh, no. Well,
that's it.
yeah, I think that'll do it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this has been the trilogy. We'll talk about them on the show. We'll see you there. Adios.